Malta's past and present meet in Valletta's Grand Harbour for the 45th Rolex Middle Sea Race, where cannons signal a series of 7 starts. Ahead for the 112 yacht fleet is the 606-mile racetrack around Sicily and the number of well-known turning marks before heading back to Malta's capital. Unpredictable weather is expected up ahead, but for now it's a spinnaker start in solid 15-knot winds. Amongst the competitors, local Maltese crews battle with international teams for overall handicap victory.
I think it's a massive privilege for us to actually have such a magnificent, prestigious race just on our doorstep. It has meant that it's helped to up our game, up our level, so we keep striving to do better and better and keep at par with the professionals.
Just slowly.
I've done probably 10 or 12 of these, I can't remember how many, but no two are the same. It's very tactical, strategy plays a huge role, but that's what I love. Sometimes the race can last 3 or 4 days. It's hard on the body, it's hard on the mind, it's unique in that way.
In the race for line honours, all eyes are on Scalawag 100 and Blackjack 100, the biggest boats in the fleet. But both err on the side of caution out of the harbour.
Absolutely nothing else matters. You've got to win the race. There is no second, no third. There's no token, participation medal for turning up. We have to win.
We want to win live honors, and we prepared and we put everything on our side for this race. Our team is ready.
These things don't cost $10 to run. These cost millions of dollars to run a year. So we're a results-driven business and we've got to get the result here.
For us, on a 100-footer, we can push ourselves physically and mentally very hard. The boat is 100% ready. We can push her to the maximum, and that's basically our intention.
Simple. Sail the boat at 100%, don't make any mistakes. You get a sail change wrong on a 100-footer, you can lose 10 more. Boats go so quick, downtime's horrendous, so we just got to be perfect, make no mistakes.
These boats are fast, and you feel it all the time. And that's where it gets very interesting, because you actually have to be very humble. You cannot steer the boat for a long period of time to keep the boat fast and performant and at 100% of the performance all the time.
Malta's Nila Juice recently broke the world record for the longest unassisted current-neutral ocean swim, covering 142.3 kilometers in just over 60 hours. Few know how to endure these seas more than him.
Once I'm starting one of these expeditions, it's important to not get overexcited about the situation that you're in. A lot of people come out to watch the start of these big events, people cheering you on, a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure from the team principal, from expectations you put on yourself as well. It's very easy to get ahead of yourself and really put a really lot of effort too early, especially since it's such a big event. And that can throw you off, because that means you're not going to make it to the end. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Got out of the harbour without hitting anyone, so that's a good start. We've got Blackjack back here behind us. Could have had a bit better start, but apart from that, everything else has gone to plan.
we're happy with where we are at the moment. We can see some clouds developing to leeward of us, and some of the fleet are over there. They're just a little bit down on speed now.
They're probably just a bit twitchy because we've gone forward on them so much. Maybe we'll just keep sailing the numbers here, we'll be good. Yeah, they're hanging on though, they're close. Got to keep working.
Along the eastern coast of Sicily, conditions for the main body of the fleet suddenly change for the worse. Much worse. There's no let-up as day turns to night. On Scallywag, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, the 600 milers are a real challenge when you're on a faster boat, because you're not in a time scale where you get into watch patterns really. If you get 3 hours in the bunk, it's pretty unheard of. A boat like Scallywag with 18 crew, you know, one person can't move anything on the boat, so it's a full team effort. So you take your rest when you can, but it's all hands to the pumps always.
The stress levels don't change whether it's day or night for me. It's all very stressful. Make sure no one does anything wrong, make sure no one gets hurt, make sure the boat doesn't break, make sure 18 leave and 18 come back. Then we worry about trying to win the race.
I think the biggest challenge at night is looking after the equipment and looking after the people. You know, Scallywag, 100 foot long, when you're driving at the back of the boat, you're effectively 90 foot away from the guy on the bow. And the boat is insanely powerful. You know, the winches will just rip anything off the deck. So you've got to be a brilliant line of communication from the guy driving the boat to the middle of the boat, the guy's operating the winch, because you've got a guy 90 foot plus away on the end of a bowsprit, and you know, his life's in our hands. So yeah, preserving the people is always job one, and at night it's just take your time. Yeah, it's a big challenge physically, mentally, staying on top of it, looking after yourself, looking after your crew.
The ocean at night, everything just takes a step down. So everything becomes so quiet. Your mind has a complete space for it to wander. It's at a point scary as well, but also beautiful at the same time. Mentally, it's a tough battle. It starts to get intense, where you really kind of just need to accept the position you're in. The doubts are going to come in, the fears are going to come in, the questions of did you prepare well enough, did you train this tactic enough? And it's okay for them to come in, it's just accept them and don't manifest in them and don't make them your reality.
So the first thing one must for sure look into is the accumulation of fatigue. More than 6 to 8 hours on a task tends to show diminishing performance. So your ability to solve problems, your ability to make the right decisions, your ability to react quickly, your ability to output power, output strength. So if you are feeling fatigued during the day, the night will generally just make that 10 times worse.
I remember 20 years ago or so, my dad always used to tell us, this race is won at night. I've grown up sailing at night. It's become maybe second nature up to a certain extent. However, it does make you feel that you don't mess with nature.
During the nights, during those dark moments, understanding that there's the light at the end of the tunnel, that's how you kind of pull yourself slowly towards that clearer path, let's say.
day 2, and it's the calm after the storm. There's already been 29 retirements, including last year's overall winner, Bullet. Just 2 miles separate the 4 boats in the race for line honours as they approach Stromboli. Blackjack leads from Scallywag, Lucky and Balthazar. On Scallywag, the mood intensifies.
Mate, they've quadrupled their lead on us. But at this rate, we're going to have to drive out of here.
Yeah.
You want to just drive out now, one?
Can't.
We've got issues here. Well, they've just marched off. We can't get the boat going. We're going to jibe, see if something comes off the rudder. Are we ready to furl? Okay, stand by. Okay, bow coming down and furl. Worked all night to catch him. We were 250 metres away from him, and now we're 3 miles behind him. In about half an hour.
When you're going up against the likes of Blackjack, if we're not 100%, we're not going to be winning. So we've got to make sure we deliver the boat speed and the performance, and can't really put a foot wrong navigationally around the course. If you do, you don't win. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of corners to turn, a lot of changeable conditions, and it's the boat that really predicts the future. The best will be the guy who performs the best.
The crew culture is the most important thing on a race boat. We can't do without it, and I think that's what we do very successfully on Blackjack. We have a fantastic team spirit on board. I think that's a big part of keeping the boat moving forward as fast as possible.
With winds fading, the fleet makes slow but steady progress around Stromboli and northern Sicily.
The middle of an expedition is quite a tricky phase because you're kind of like on a roller coaster. You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you're upside down, not know where you are. So the middle is the time you really need to be focusing on the end. You know it's there, you know it's coming. As you start to get tired, efficiency starts to drop, and that's where mistakes start to happen. So the middle ground is the most important part of you keeping yourself together.
The faster boats, they have totally different weather. You know, you're the first one into the new breeze in front, so you have to manage that. But on the smaller boats, you have a lot of indicators around the course. So, you know, if you're in the middle of the fleet, you've got guys on either side of you, maybe in front of you, some behind you, and all of those give you, references of what's happening with the wind, what sort of speeds they're doing, where you should be going, what's the strategy.
For the first time this year, the fleet is also competing for the Sustainability Award, given out to the most environmentally conscious yacht in the race.
The Yacht Club this year launched its Sustainability Compass with the intention of looking at the environmental, social impact of the club and how we could find ways to improve and have a better impact in the sense of protecting the seas and also bringing a community of sailors and the wider community together.
The club has teamed up with Maltese NGO Zibel to help clear marinas used by the fleet, as a way of offsetting the impact of the race.
The sea is everything to us, of course, and so lining up our goals with the Malta Yacht Club made a lot of sense for us, especially because sailors to us are very important stakeholders of the sea. Since 2017, we've collected over 170 tons from the Maltese environment. All of that has been with the help of volunteers, with their hands, with their time, with their labor.
When you are there on extraction day, you're looking at all the stuff coming out of the water. It's quite a mixed feelings, really. On one hand, it's this feeling of success because you see 4 tons coming out of the water. It's a huge team effort. Everybody's been working together. It's an achievement. It's also positive because you feel like you're doing a huge difference. But at the same time, it's somewhat depressing in a way, somewhat. It brings you down because of the fact that this amount of trash that's been there, it's such a small amount of the reality that's underwater.
As sailors, they understand the importance of the sea, how delicate it is as an ecosystem, and how our actions can disrupt that ecosystem, but also that as humans we are a small part of a much bigger force. I think especially during the Rolex Middle Sea race, there's a huge spotlight on this tiny island with so much activity, attracting so many people. And there is this thing of we can use this as a platform to talk about how we can improve and take small actions and make small changes to protect the sea.
Into the afternoon of day 3, and it's neck and neck in the race for line honours between Blackjack and Scalawag, all the way to Pantelleria.
Got Blackjack, who is a bit them and us at the moment. It's just very, very tricky. The wind's all over the place. Less stressful being in 40 knots going in a straight line, I think. This is taking all my brain cells.
Blackjack won bingo. So you just throw your number in a hat. Whoever pulls the number out of the hat, the right number, will probably win the race. Still a lottery, mate. Still a lottery. But we got one Villa, so we're all confident.
No, it will pick up a little bit. It's meant to just go up to 10 knots plus. After Lampedusa, we'll see what we get, but it should be basically southeast building as well. Big black cloud ahead, so anything can happen.
The self-change marathon continues. Breeze is really unstable and not very well mixed. It's always having to work super hard to keep the boat going. But story of this race so far, hard work.
It's day 4 of the race. Blackjack led Scalawag around Lampedusa. But as they passed through the Camino Channel, just 10 miles from the finish, Scalawag has nudged ahead. Scalawag win in a time of 2 days, 21 hours and 33 minutes. Beating Blackjack by just 18 minutes. With the pressure on, David Witt and his team have delivered.
Oh, firstly, it's a huge relief for me, the owner, and the team, and my wife. So much work and effort and money goes into these campaigns, and to come here for our first effort and get a result is just absolutely fantastic. That's one of the toughest races I've done in a 100-footer. We had 40-knot rain squalls trying to keep the boat in one piece and not tip it over. And then we had 90-degree wind shifts and glass outs, and it's like a 600-mile match race, basically. The critical point was when we came around the island at the end. Blackjack, for the first time in 550 miles, let us go. As soon as everybody thought there was a sniff of a chance, we were going to give it everything we had.
Valletta welcomes the remaining fleet into the finish.
When I entered the port, it's really just kind of just keeping yourself focused. Being able to see the finish line, it can bring you back to neutrality. The understanding of just putting one stroke in front of the other and trying to maintain focus through the storm that's going through your head.
Red Bandit finishes in the early hours of day 5 to claim overall handicap victory. Forced to retire from the race last year, it's a great comeback from the German yacht, mostly made up of young sailors.
Our team is quite unique. It consists mostly of very young people below the age of 30. I'm proud of the team and how they're working together and how they are pushing to the limit. To win the Rolex Middle Sea race is absolutely incredible. I dreamed of it before. Thought, could it be? Could we do it? Now we did it. It's amazing.
Bandits on 3, 1, 2, 3.
What I really aspire to do with these swims is let people understand the importance of just slowing down and being in the moment. If they are in the moment while they are by the sea, they can understand its healing power. The ocean has the capacity to heal us on a physical and on a mental aspect. For me, it's a place I dream, it's a place I explore, I test my resilience, and it's one of my biggest teachers. The source of energy that it has within it, especially with its fluidity, with its energy that it generates within itself, is something we can all latch on to. We just need to slow down and be able to understand it.
Next time on The Spirit of Yachting, we're at another 600-mile classic, the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race.